The 2025 Formula One season is shaping up to be an exciting one. The postseason tire test has wrapped up and has left us with a clearer picture of how things might look for the 2025 Formula One season. Red Bull and Racing Bulls are still working on their driver lineups, and the situation seems more complicated than it initially appeared. Despite hopes that this test would solidify Yuki Tsunoda's chances for a promotion, it seems the team has other plans. Lawson appears to be the favorite to step into a significant role, while there are whispers about Isack Hadjar possibly moving up from Formula 2 to join the Faenza-based team. Red Bull faces challenges, especially due to Sergio Perez's contract, which complicates their plans. This is a stark contrast to previous seasons, where driver decisions were more straightforward. Now the big question is, will the grid look entirely different for the 2025 season within the Red Bull camp? If Tsunoda is not part of their plans, could he seek opportunities elsewhere? Teams like Aston Martin could be viable options, especially if Honda plays a role in influencing such moves. One of the most intriguing aspects of the upcoming season is how Red Bull's decisions will shape the team dynamics. Although Perez has acknowledged that his seat is under threat, the recent test in Abu Dhabi might have been Tsunoda's last real chance to secure a spot alongside Verstappen. Even Honda Racing's president, Koji Watanabe, expressed support for Tsunoda. Watanabe mentioned discussing the matter with Christian Horner, pushing for Tsunoda to be considered for a Red Bull seat. Despite Watanabe's efforts, Red Bull seems set on promoting Lawson instead. Watanabe showed Tsunoda's strong performance during the tire test. He praised Tsunoda's ability to push the car to its limits and provide valuable feedback. Tsunoda himself felt confident and satisfied with his test performance, but it appears his efforts have not been enough to change Red Bull's stance. The team has its reasons for favoring Lawson. His performances this year, though limited in races, have matched expectations. In fact, Christian Horner has spoken highly of Lawson's abilities and his ability to handle challenging situations. Lawson's short stint with the Racing Bulls saw him earn 4 points, which might not seem like much, but it has made a lasting impression. Even though Tsunoda consistently outqualified Lawson during their shared races, the team values Lawson's consistent race pace and feedback, especially during the Abu Dhabi test. He completed the highest number of laps, showing both stamina and reliability, qualities Red Bull looks for in a driver. Lawson's ability to perform under pressure has likely sealed his spot as a contender for a seat. The decision to favor Lawson leaves Tsunoda in a tough spot. Fans may wonder what more he could have done to prove his worth. Unfortunately, Red Bull seems focused on a different direction. This leaves Tsunoda with limited options. A potential move to Aston Martin could provide a fresh start, but Aston Martin's lineup is not without its complications. With Fernando Alonso aging and Lance Stroll's position tied to his father's ownership of the team, the situation remains uncertain. Honda's partnership with Aston Martin from 2026 could play a crucial role in opening up opportunities for Tsunoda. Aston Martin has struggled to maintain form. The arrival of technical personnel like Adrian Newey and the involvement of Honda might help the team bounce back. If Honda pushes for Tsunoda, he could find himself in a competitive car alongside Alonso or possibly even replacing him in the future. This could be the fresh opportunity Tsunoda needs to show his talents on a bigger stage. Red Bull, meanwhile, has clear priorities. After finishing third in the Constructors' Championship, their focus is on having 2 consistent point scorers. While Verstappen remains the golden driver, they need someone reliable to support him. Lawson might not match Verstappen's brilliance, but his consistent feedback and ability to work with the team make him a strong candidate. The team values stability, and Lawson's performance during the Pirelli tire test reinforced this perception. For us, it's a bittersweet situation. We have followed Tsunoda's journey and hope to see him in a top-tier car. His growth and performance have been commendable, but in Formula One, timing and team decisions often outweigh individual talent. The Red Bull decision-makers seem intent on moving forward with Lawson, leaving Tsunoda to explore alternative paths. In the greater scheme, this shakeup within Red Bull and Racing Bulls could set a precedent for how teams approach driver development. Promoting from within has always been a strength for Red Bull, but it also shows the intense competition among young drivers. Isack Hadjar, who finishes the runner-up in the Formula 2 championship, might also play a significant role. He lost the title to Bortoleto in a nail-biting finale in Abu Dhabi, but has proven himself worthy of consideration. Red Bull seems to be moving back to its roots of promoting drivers from within its ranks. This strategy is reminiscent of their early days when they focused heavily on academy drivers, rather than hiring external talents like Perez or Coulthard. Yuki Tsunoda has expressed his frustration and determination. He has boldly claimed that he would outperform any teammate just to prove he belongs in the senior team. But even Tsunoda seems to recognize that his chances are slim. Red Bull's current situation is far from ideal. Sergio Perez, who has a year left on his contract worth $16 million, presents a challenge for the team. Unlike previous situations where they swiftly replace drivers like De Vries, Gasly, or Albon, Perez's case is more complicated. He brings significant financial support to the team and will likely demand a payout if they choose to terminate his contract early. This financial burden comes at a time when Red Bull is already dealing with a $20 million loss from dropping to third place in the Constructors' Championship. The loss of prize money has also impacted the team's employees, many of whom were promised bonuses based on the team's performance. If Red Bull doesn't make changes to address the issues that led to this decline, morale could suffer. Perez's future hangs in the balance, and for the first time, he has shown vulnerability. While he insists that his contract stands, he has acknowledged that discussions will take place in the coming days to find a resolution. This marks a shift in his stance, as he previously appeared confident that he controlled his fate within the team. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner has a tough decision to make. The team must first resolve the Perez situation before focusing on the talented drivers waiting in the wings. As the 2025 season comes, this time things are higher than ever and the competition is set to reach new heights. Horner has praised both Lawson and Tsunoda for their performances, describing the Racing Bulls pair as talented drivers who have delivered under pressure. Lawson's potential promotion would open the door for Isack Hadjar to step into the Racing Bulls team. Hadjar's rise through the ranks has been impressive, and his runner-up finish in Formula 2 adds to his credentials. For Perez, the next few weeks will be critical. If an agreement cannot be reached, his tenure at Red Bull could come to an end. This would mark the conclusion of a partnership that has had its highs and lows. Perez played a crucial role in helping the team secure victories, but his recent struggles have raised doubts about his long-term future. The upcoming season is likely to bring significant changes, not just for Red Bull, but for the entire grid. The decisions made now will have a ripple effect. Tsunoda's journey is far from over. Whether he stays within the Red Bull ecosystem or finds a new home, his determination and talent will continue to make him a driver to watch. The same can be said for Lawson and Hadjar, who represent the future of Red Bull racing. While the team has a history of making tough decisions, this year's lineup changes could prove to be some of the most impactful in recent memory. Now, whatever your thoughts are, just write them down below. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well.